Welcome to today's Gula Minute, a daily Dvar Torah in the name of the Gaon of Vilna. Perfect trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu and contentment are the embodiment of all good character traits. They are the opposite of lust and greed. Ve'ikar hakol is betachon. He who lacks betachon, his Torah is not fulfilled or complete, and is inaccessible to him. Betachon loosely means to perfectly trust in Shem, and betachon is the principle at play that results in learning Torah with perfect clarity, such that it brings to you an ease to display its wisdom before Hashem as an Eved of Hashem through his mitzvot. Betachon is the set table and gives space in life for us to live in completion as totally connected to Hashem. There is no lack on this level. All is in harmony within his perfect universe. This is the whole Torah, and that is what is called emunah. It is a completion of the nefesh, or the soul that we are the most connected to. This is the ikar of the entire Torah, or in other words, the principle of the entire Torah, as brought down by the prophet Habakkuk. The righteous shall live in his faith, which simply means when the Torah is complete with emunah and we put it in practice and in motion, that is betachon, trusting in Hashem, and that is a testimony to completing the entire Torah through one mitzvah. Thank you for listening. Be well. Welcome to today's Gula Minute, daily Dvar Torah in the name of the Gaon of Vilna. All sins and transgressions come through the trait of coveting. As it says in the Torah, you shall not covet. This is the 10th commandment of the 10 commandments, and thus is the encapsulation of all 10 commandments and the entire Torah. To be content is the opposite of this, and is therefore the foundation of the entire Torah. Being content with what Hashem gives you is of perfect faith, or in other words, emunah shlema, in that he will not worry about tomorrow's only theoretical worries. To live from that place is what is described through the prophet who summarizes the entire Torah. Tzadik be'emunaso yichyeh. This is called betachon, the absolute trust in God, as the righteous will live in his perfect faith. He who has a complete and good heart filled with betachon, even though he may transgress many serious and grave sins, it is better than the one who lacks betachon. For through lacking betachon, he will come to jealousy and loathing, even though he is deeply interested in Torah and performing kind deeds. For all that he does is for his name only, whereas one who has complete betachon and complete faith in Hashem, he will serve Hashem and his name as one. Thank you for listening. Be well. Welcome to today's Gula Minute, daily Dvar Torah in the name of the Gaon of Vilna. When materialism runs wild, it can even capture the B'nai Torah and God-fearing true believers. This is because, at first, materialism shows itself in many ways that speak to us in seductive ways as to entice us through our needs, to settle down in our existence, and to establish a home and a proper work front. Add all of this to the principle that Torah works best when in tandem with making a living and engaging this world. From there one can easily be led to choose after luxuries and say that these are all necessary to him. He can even claim that gross materialism will help him study more comfortably as a way to bring spoils into his home. After he realizes how it works in inverted commas, he can further rationalize that this thinking is indeed good, especially in ways to prepare for his old age and future health issues. But the Torah nevertheless teaches us, yes, indeed, there are many thoughts in the heart of a man. Thank you for listening. Be well. Okay. How do you guys feel? How do you feel after listening to those 3 videos? In fact, let's go ahead and introduce what these videos are. I know, Jacques, you asked me already. Let's do a proper. This is Vilna Gaon night. Welcome to Vilna Gaon night. That's what this is going to be. Yes, now is as good a time as any. How do you feel after the 3 videos? Let's get some feedback here. You type or talk in the microphone. If you want to talk to the microphone, just click the microphone. Just give me your impression. What is it? Did you get it? Did you not get it? Over your head? Foggy? Not foggy? Let's go. Someone take a stand here. Foggy? Can you describe what was foggy? Foggy? Too much, too fast. That's why you got to pause it and take it slow. That's good. Because it went too fast. You got to learn how to, this is what I tell everybody on Mishlei night. The pause button is an option. You want me to break a video down with you? I want to. This is what I'm saying. I want to show you guys what goes into the video. Absolutely. All my stuff. I urge you to pause, rewind, fast forward. You know, all my stuff is meant to be broken up and picked apart and edited and all these things. That should be ground rule number 1. I mean, yeah. What is? I think on each one of your YouTube players, you have the ability to pause and it doesn't disrupt anybody else's player, if I understand it correctly. But even when you're watching at home, the Vilna Gaon series, when you're by yourself, you're able to pause it and stop it and things like that. So let me go ahead and show you how I would explain the first video. You guys want to do that? To see in the case in point how I would break it down? All right, it's going to have that, what do you call it, reverberation on your side, okay? Because I got to put my speaker back on. I fixed it because I turned my speaker off. But I got to be able to hear what's going on. So don't, focus. Try to focus through the problem, okay? It's going to have an echo. Keep in mind, this video here, this is the hardest one I did because this is when I realized that this was a whole class in of itself. Place your hand over your mic. Yeah? Okay. Let's try it. Wait, what did I do here? Let's see.
Welcome.
Okay, ready to go? Oh, you're saying place your hand. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. It's kind of hard because I gotta coordinate. Bear with me. I'm sorry for the horrible whatever, but bear with me. I'm gonna be quick on I gotta be quick on the draw to pause it.
Today's Gula Minute, a daily Dvar Torah in the name of the Gaon of Vilna.
How do you feel? Pause it. Everyone pause. 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 I paused mine. Okay, we should have said welcome to today's daily blah blah blah, a daily Dvar Torah. Okay, we there? Everyone, give me a 1. All right, then good. If you can hear mine, everyone turn yours down. Okay, everyone turn yours off. Let's go with mine. Number 1, number one point just let's get the obvious out of the way. You guys do know who's in that picture, don't you? It's been a debate on Facebook over the years. You do understand this. Yeah, that is me. Is there anyone that did not know that was me? People accuse me on Facebook of I first put this up years ago. They said this Rabbi Katz is a false teacher because he's putting a picture of an old rabbi up that he claims to be him. Number two, why am I doing and I answered this for Jacques, why am I doing the raspy voice? The answer is because it started with the Rabbi Miller series. And the Rabbi Miller series was just fun. And if you guys that know my stuff, I like to have fun sometimes. We all saw the Darth Vader bit, okay? It's so the Darth Vader thing is fun. My Omer series last year was a lot of fun. You have to have fun sometimes. I'm sorry. That's exactly it. And then I Russell told me I was learning this book of the Vilna Gaon, Evan Shlema. It's his main book. And I'm forgetting already now how we were gonna do it, but it's broken up into little sound bites. Like it's Aleph, Bet, Gimel, but really nice edible pieces of Torah. So I thought, you know how Rashi has a different font on the page of the Talmud other than the Talmud, right? That's how you distinguish different fonts on a Torah page. So everybody gets your the YouTube channel. Hi, this is Rabbi Katz. Another week, we're gonna talk about the Ger, blah 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 blah. Yeah, we get it, Rabbi Katz. So to change it up, since you guys have to deal with this stuff all the time, I decided to use the Rabbi Miller voice to go with the Vilna Gaon voice. And actually, it's a bit of a lie, I'm telling you, because what it does is it makes me focus, it makes me speak better, it makes me careful in my pronunciation. And what goes behind it, and this is important, I learned the Vilna Gaon, and then I learned the commentaries on the page. There's a whole bunch of commentaries in this book. And then I translate the Vilna Gaon, I write it out nice, and I translate it according to the commentaries in mind. Do you understand this now? One or two? Did you guys know this before 10 minutes ago? That this is what goes into these Vilna Gaon videos? Right? And so it's going to be a translated book at the end of the year, hopefully, or whenever I finish it. I'm hoping to do at least one a day, if not more. So the voice allows me to focus, I found out with the Omer videos that when I throw my voice or put in music and editing, it creates a more concentrated work. I know it bothers some people, the antics that I do, but it does improve the quality of focus. Because when I teach normal, it has its appeal, I guess, to some people, but it's less focused. Yeah, we are a goofy bunch. What can I tell you? But there's a lot of preparation that goes behind it. So this video here is very, 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 very dense. And I expect it to go over your head if you don't pause it. All right, so let's go ahead and break it down. We'll see if I can even keep up myself. Ready? By the way, I gave myself public speaking lessons by listening to Morgan Freeman. Rod Bryant sent me some videos on YouTube a couple years ago. And all the whole, sit with good posture and because I was, all you guys that heard my earlier stuff, it was like, hi, this is Rabbi Katz. So now I'm a seasoned veteran, And the best one was Morgan Freeman. And his video speaking was different than everybody else's. He says, when I speak, I yawn. When I yawn, I can speak all day long. I just yawn. So that's obviously my approach. I take Morgan Freeman. Here we go.
Perfect trust.
Perfect trust. Raise your hand. What does that mean? What does it mean? Perfect trust. Let's go. When Rabbi Katz says perfect trust, what is he saying? Any takers? One or two? Let's go. Come on, y'all. Bitachon. Bitachon. The word is bitachon. Bitachon. You have to know that word. Bitachon. It's really not a translatable word, Jock. That's why it has to be this way. There's no way to translate bitachon. How many of you guys know what emuna is? Emunah. Emunah. However you want to say it. Emunah. Let's go. Emunah. Emunah. Okay. Good. Faith. So bitachon is the higher level. And that's what the entire thing is about. It's about the distinction between these words. All right, that's why when it goes over your head, because you're hearing perfect trust. Try to remember that this is not a secular study, that I'm actually reading the Hebrew, putting it into English. So not that I expect you to know the ins and outs, but remember there's something by definition deeper going on, right? Because we're translating Torah. So therefore.
In HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
What is HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Yeah. So now put it together. Let's put it together. Who wants to say it? Let's go. Perfect trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What does that mean? What does it mean? Perfect trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What does that mean? What does that mean? I know you can say back what I'm saying. What does it mean? Example, wisdom. Give me some feedback. What does it mean? Everything he does is good. Okay, I'm hearing it. I'm warming up to you. Emulation, okay. Absolute reliance. I'm going to say Eric Bryan is in pole position, guys. You're trying to now catch up to Eric Bryan. That's how we're going to do this class. Eric Bryan's in the lead. Okay? Travis is a close second. Jacques tied with Travis. I'm just doing this to give you where I'm at, okay? We're going to continue. Let's go. Robin's up there with Eric Bryan. There you go. And that's probably Bill, isn't it? Here we go.
In contentment.
Perfect trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu and contentment. You with me? What is contentment? Remember, these words, I'm going to keep asking questions. Your answers are for you guys, okay? It's to get you guys to hear yourselves answer it up. You follow my technique here? This is for you. Everyone pay attention to everyone else's answers because everyone's saying good. There's nobody saying bad here, all right? And just don't wait on me, okay? If you get a thought that comes into your head, type it. That is, I'm telling you to do that. All right. When it just open consciousness here. Okay. If it comes to your mind, type it for the sake of you hearing it and other people hearing it, and let it be revealed. We're not going to conceal this anymore.
Are the embodiment of all good character traits.
Let's go. Let's go. Don't wait on me. Trusting in HaKadosh Baruch Hu and contentment are the totality, or whatever I said, of all good character traits. So there's something called character traits, something called good character traits. Are these then the best character traits? Yes, they are. Trusting in Hashem and being content with Hashem is the best you can be, best you can do.
They are the opposite of lust and greed.
You got that? Now, Robin and Bill, do you see why it was hard to understand at first? It is super compact. That's what you have to know with my stuff. This is super compact. If I'm putting it out on the internet, it is compact. Don't think otherwise. Loretta with 2 R's. Is she here? Not here. Right? Everybody knows that by now, right? If Rabbi David Katz is speaking and lecturing, you got to put on your thinking cap. It's just the way God made me. I'm sorry about that. So it is super compact. What does it mean? The opposite of lust and greed, material desire, is the opposite of trusting in God and being content with God such that it's the entire Torah. You see how compound these ideas are? I'm going to stop right now for just a minute. Let that sink in. Because everything from this point on is just a fractal. I'm already done. I can already go home. You'll say, but you already are home, Rabbi Katz. No, home, I'm in my office. That's not home. Home is when I'm asleep. I only sleep at home. Everything else is this. So be happy with what Shem gives you because it is, good question. Because it is what you you tell me, Robin. I don't know. Just think about it. Let it do what it does. Let her just even if you guys just vocalize it out. Hear yourself churning these ideas. All we have is type to me the Hebrew, please. Can I just say it? My Yotzi to just say it? All right. Bitachon vehistapkus. Hema klalim lechol hamidis tavis. Vehem hefech. Taiva v'chemda. The major words, Travis, that you need to be associated with here: bitachon, trust; histapkut, contentment; klalim lakol hamidus tovis. Klalim, the total embodiment to every lakol hamidot tovot, to all good deeds. Vehem, and they are the opposite of taiva v'chemda. Taiva is lust. Chemda is materialism, greed, materialism. Someone please think and help Loretta. Somebody please type to Loretta and help her out. I appreciate that. Okay, here we go.
Ve'ikar hakol.
Ve'ikar hakol. Now, Jacques is sitting there right now saying, but why does he have to speak in Hebrew when he knows that we don't speak Hebrew? It goes right over my head, and I don't know why he does that. Jacques, am I right? I said, Ve'ikar hakol. It's Hebrew. I have to put that in Hebrew. You have to understand this. Jacques, pay attention. When I'm translating this, right, I'm sitting in my office, I'm saying I'm making a video today. My thought is I have to say Ve'ikar hakol. I have to. It is not translatable. There's no way around this. Now, everyone has their philosophy. Chaim would bark and say, you're not communicating ideas, you're confusing them. Okay, fine, good. But you have your opinion. All right, Ve'ikar hakol. You have to know one thing in my videos. If I'm going to speak in Hebrew, right, this is not like when you speak Yiddish because you don't want the kids to understand what you're saying. I'm going to translate it. It will get translated. Maybe not right away. Okay? Everything I say is either going to be translated or it's a rabbit trail for those that know, and if you don't know, it's okay not to know. Right? If I bring a Saved by the Bell reference, which I often do, okay, those of the 90s children will get it, and they'll say, Saved by the Bell, Screech was a good guy. Those that were not in that generation say, Who was saved by the bell? And I'll say that's not the right question. You didn't see the show. But don't worry, there's more references to come. You follow my style? It's just, if you get it, it's for you. If you didn't get it, it's okay. You'll get the next one. I just say what comes to mind to get the point across, right? I go with the majority wins. Most people that I associate with have seen Saved by the Bell. Blame me for being from Ohio, as Robin and Bill have already stated. Can't help it. Okay. You'll get it. Just the trick to my videos, and Loretta will tell you. Loretta with 2 R's and 2 T's when she's not here, but Loretta will tell you, right? Just let it happen. I think Eric's probably learning this lesson, based on what I see from Eric coming out. Let it happen. Just let it happen, right? The less you fight the class, the more you'll get. I promise you. Just let go. Yeah, exactly. That's right. Just let go. Let go. It'll happen. It will happen. I have you in mind when I'm doing this, okay? It's not like a full throttle and catch me if you can, okay? It'll happen. Here we go. Next stanza.
Is betachon.
The Iker Akul is betachon, okay? Now you're saying you don't know what Iker Akul is. 1 or 2. Everyone type 1. You don't know what Iker Akul is. I didn't translate it. But did I already translate betachon? So what is betachon? Tell me again what betachon is. Okay. So now I told you it's the Iker Akul. Iker Akul is betachon. Tell me what Iker Akul means. The Iker Akul is betachon. What does it mean, Iker Akul? Good to see you, Lars. There you go. Thank you. So now stop telling me this bubba mice so that you guys don't know what I'm talking about. You see, I'm like John Stockton. I'm going to put you in a position to get an assist every time. Okay? I'm never going to make you think of something that's beyond your grasp. It's that simple. Just say the obvious. Iker Akul is betachon. You already knew what betachon was. Therefore, what is Iker Akul? Just like you guys said it. Okay.
He who lacks betachon, his Torah is not fulfilled or complete and is inaccessible to him.
He who lacks betachon, his Torah is not complete or fulfilled. Umi shehu mechusar betachon ein Torah so mizkayim biyado. He who lacks betachon, his Torah is lacking and not fulfilled. What do you got to say about that? So if you lack the point of the matter, you lack exactly. There you go. So now I'm going to really grill Robin and Bill here. Robin and Bill, what changed? Because you just now answered 3 questions in a row just right. So what was this whole story about how you didn't get it and now you got it? What happened? What changed? Something changed. So you see, you can get it. You see now how you can get it? You can get it. Jacques, how are you holding up? You seeing progress? Are you seeing progress here? Yes, honestly. Are you seeing how it's coming down? Jacques? All right. Don't just tell me one. It's got to be the truth here. Let's go. I'm turning the page of my book. And Okay, so that was the end of the first one. So here on out, it's going to be the commentary. Let's see what I say.
Bitachon loosely means to perfectly trust in Hashem.
You see that? I got your back. I told you. All right. If I'm busting out the Hebrew, I'm gonna get your back.
And bitachon is the principle at play that results in learning Torah with perfect clarity.
Got it? Exactly right, Travis. I just explained Ikar HaKol. Because I'm saying to myself, you have no idea what Ikar HaKol is, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to give it over. Whenever I go down a rabbit trail, for whatever reason, God has created me that I will always go back and answer up that rabbit trail. Keep that in mind.
Such that it brings to you an ease to display its wisdom before Hashem as an Eved of Hashem through his mitzvot.
Bitachon allows you to become a servant of God easily through performing his commandments. Let's see if I explain it better. Ready?
Bitachon is the set table and gives space in life for us to live in completion as totally connected to Hashem.
There it is. Did you hear the qualifier? Trusted as Shem, and the Torah will be revealed with perfect clarity. 100%. You guys are doing awesome. All right, keep it going. Keep your mind there. Like the set, there you go. Let's go.
There is no lack on this level.
Got it? There's no lack on this level.
All is in harmony within his perfect universe.
Keep it going.
This is the whole Torah, and that is what is called Emunah.
This is the whole Torah, which is called Emunah. What is faith? The whole Torah.
It is a completion of the nefesh.
What is a nefesh?
Or the soul that we are the most connected to.
Ah, really, Rabbi Katz? The soul that we're most connected to. You see, there is a wisdom here. It does work out. Trust the process. Bill, you should know that.
This is the ikar of the entire Torah, or in other words, the principle of the entire Torah.
What do you think? With me? Is anybody left behind? Is anybody left behind here?
As brought down by the prophet Habakkuk.
Prophet Habakkuk. Ready?
The righteous shall live in his faith, which simply means when the Torah is complete with Amunah and we put it in practice and in motion, that is bitachon, trusting in Hashem, and that is a testimony to completing the entire Torah through one mitzvah. Thank you for listening. Be well.
There you go. Thank you for listening. Be well. Are you ready for the next video? The second video. You guys feel good about this? So you can complete. Yeah, that's the Chiddush of the Vilna Gaon. That's why this was an incredible class. It's the entire thing. Yes. Trust is that big. Now do you understand what I'm saying? It is that big. Here we go. Next video.
Welcome. Welcome to today's Gula Minute, a daily Dvar Torah in the name of the Gaon of Vilna.
With me? Everyone ready? Okay, you guys enjoying this? It's a bit of a different kind of class today, but is it good? All right.
Perfect trust.
What is perfect trust? What is that? I've heard about that before. Betachon.
In HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and contentment.
Wait, did I just do the same video twice? I might have just done the same video twice. No, wait, no. Hold on a second. What did I do here? Hold on. No, this should be... Hold on a second. Let's see here.
Are the embodiment of all good character traits.
Yeah.
They are the opposite of...
I didn't do it right. Sorry about that.
Welcome to today's Geula Minute, Daily Dvar Torah, in the name of the Gaon of Vilna. All sins.
All right, you with me? Here, we did it right there. All sins. Let's go.
Dvar Torah, in the name of the Gaon of Vilna. All sins and transgressions.
What do I mean by that? All sins and transgressions. Why did I say the same thing twice? Why did I just say all sins? Why do I have to add the second word? The Hebrew says, Kol ha'aveirot ve'achatoyim. The Vilna Gaon uses two different words for sins. I also wondered the same question. I'm just like you. I'm sitting here saying, what's the difference between Averas and Chet? Avera and Chet. I don't know. That's a whole different discussion. All I know is he brought the word twice. And anyone that knows that I'm very particular in translation, it's not my job to leave one of those words out. That's the crusade that I fight when people leave out words, right? Now, it could have made it a lot easier if I would have just said anybody who sins, but I made it difficult because I translated it word for word. You understand? So if it gets confusing, understand the Torah is telling you something confusing. It's not me. It's not my style to confuse. It's my style to repeat what the Torah says. Ger is not always a convert. I am sorry. I didn't write the Torah. Art Scroll tried to make it simple, and they did, in my opinion, a great injustice. You understand? No one's conflating terms here. The Torah simply has the word ger that means 20 billion things. Blame God. I didn't do it. But it certainly isn't just a convert. And people should be embarrassed of the translation and thinking that it is. I'm sorry I feel that way.
Come through the trait of coveting.
How does sin come? Where does sin come from? Coveting. What is coveting? It's an archaic biblical word, but what is it? Mechemda. Mechemda. Coveting. That's right. Right? George Carlin has a very funny piece about that, just for those that want to know. Says that's what makes the economy go around.
As it says in the Torah, you shall not covet.
Everyone heard that before? As it says in the Torah, it says you should not covet. Okay, we're all good on the same page now, right?
This is the 10th commandment of...
Is it the 10th commandment?
The 10 commandments.
How many commandments were there? You see, I break it down. Is my style getting clearer now? Are you guys seeing now where I'm coming from? That's just how I do it.
And thus is the encapsulation of all 10 commandments and the entire Torah.
What does that mean? And such is the encapsulation of all 10 commandments and the entire Torah. What does that mean? The 10th of all 10, right, fit in covet, and the 10 are the entire Torah, so it's like a fractal. Do you see that? The 10th embodies the 10 embodies 613, 613 embodies, that's right, complete. Well, we all have our pluses and minuses. That was funny. You gotta laugh that one. That was funny. That was funny. Did you hear the mazel come through? Did you guys hear the mazel? How many of you missed that joke? They said they weren't good at math. I said we all have our pluses and minuses. I didn't intend to do it. It just happened. It just happened. That's welcome to my mazel. It just happens. I don't plan these things. I'm not. Who could plan such a thing?
To be content is the opposite of this.
To be content is the opposite of this. What does that mean? To be content is the opposite of this. There you go.
It is therefore the foundation of the entire Torah.
What's the foundation of the entire Torah? That's right. Now, how did the Vilna Gaon come to that conclusion? That it's the opposite. What do you say? These are counter opposites. Because we said coveting is the essence of all 10, right? And the 10 is the Torah. So therefore, if coveting is the worst from this point of view, then contentment and trust is the opposite of the worst. Therefore, the best.
Being content with what Hashem gives you is a perfect faith.
Being content with what Hashem gives you is perfect faith. Is that a true statement then, based on this?
Or in other words, Vilna Shlema.
Hebrew, danger, danger, Hebrew, danger. What is a Muna Shlema? What is a Muna Shlema? There you go. Jacques, you make me proud. There you go. Lars, awesome.
And that he will not worry about tomorrow's only theoretical worries.
He will not worry about tomorrow's theoretical worries. Do you have anything to fear tomorrow, according to this system? There you go. There you go.
To live from that place is what is described through the prophet who summarizes the entire Torah. Tzadik be'emunaso yichye. This is called betachon, the absolute trust in God as the righteous will live in his perfect faith.
I just went back and the commentary summarized the entire thing. Habakkuk, the prophet, who said the righteous live in his faith, which is the trust. It's all boom, just one big conglomerate, boom. You see it? You don't have to break it down. When it happens, you just let it go. Just boom, there it is. One earshot, the whole thing. Whole Torah on 1 foot.
He who has a complete and good heart filled with betachon.
Yeah? He who has a complete and good heart filled with betachon. Omisha libo tov b'midas betachon. 1 or 2.
Even though he may transgress many serious and grave sins.
Yeah? This guy's got a great heart. He's got betachon, but he, he does what he does. Well, it's funny you said that, Eric Bryan, because last night was all about this. Right, Pam Rogers? King David and the perfect heart.
It is better than the one who lacks betachon.
You hear that? Tell me that's not a chiddush. Tell me that's not a chiddush. He who has the perfect trust and he does what he does is better than somebody who lacks betachon. 1 or 2 if you're surprised on that note. Everybody with me?
For through lacking bitachon, he will come to jealousy and loathing, even though he is deeply interested in Torah and performing kind deeds.
If you don't have bitachon, it's a recipe for hatred and jealousy and all these things. No matter how much of interest you have in Torah and doing kind deeds for people.
For all that he does is for his name only, whereas one who has complete bitachon and complete faith in Hashem, he will serve Hashem and his name as one. Thank you for listening. Be well.
What do you think? So this is where I really like this. The commentary said, I posted on Facebook. I'm just debating if I want to post it here. I'll just explain it. Do you guys? How many of you guys read my wall? Honestly, does anybody not read my wall? Do you remember the Talmud I put up that says, like, the Arab guy said to the rabbi, like, load your camel or something? Remember that one? It was a source a couple days ago. Lars, no, but anybody else? Robin, no. Pam, no. So I'll just paraphrase it. I found it in the Talmud that I'm going to make this up for context, okay, just so that you know, okay? I'm going to really dramatize it. I was learning the Talmud last week at Pam's house, right, Pam? And I was stuck on a question. I really didn't know the answer. And Pam said, Rabbi Katz, would you like an okie dokie? And I said, wow, Pam, that'd be great. I suppose that's some kind of a sandwich. And Pam said, yeah, it's our specialty in Oklahoma. And I said, wow, Pam, that's incredible. Look at this. The Hebrew word that I needed to know in my learning was doki. And it was a sandwich that I used to make in Babylon for Torah scholars. Wow, this is incredible, Pam. So I had to come to Oklahoma to get an okie dokie to get the missing word for this thing. So that's what the rabbis realized, that all languages are rooted in Hebrew, and there's something called mazel, right? Everyone knows this by now that knows me. And for whatever it's worth, right, and we're going to go back to Rabbi Google, and Oklahoma and Babylon have this same trait, that they are called the same thing, and the Talmud spoke about it. And when Pam said okie dokie, okay, it literally did translate to my Talmud. So now that was not to say that Pam is a prophet, and it did not come from God per se. The Talmud commentary says it came from the name of God. So that's where we say God and his name are one. So when I'm at Walmart shopping, okay, and I see something that triggers something in Hebrew, blah, 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 you can get the wisdom of God anywhere, right? Mazel works in very funny ways. It's not our job to say, I can't learn from someone from Oklahoma. It doesn't work that way. And that's what the 3 episodes of the Talmud we're going over. Since you all have internet open right now, if you want to go to my wall, look through my images, look for the Talmud. It's in English, okay? And you'll see it. It's there in English. You'll find it. That's exactly right, Pam. So that is what's called the name of God. So when it says in the prophet, on that day, he is one, his name is one, now we know what that means, don't we? Right? God can give you the revelation, and it can come from God's creation, i.e. his name. God is one, his name is one. That only happens when you have bitachon, right? I have to know that Pam has all the divine powers operative for her just as anybody else. God can work through creation, and therefore I trust God all the time. The Torah is complete. I don't have to worry about anything. God can do what he needs to do. You understand now how it works with bitachon, right? When you don't have bitachon, I'm too jealous of things in order to get that message, one or two. I'm too filled with hatred to get that message, one or two. But if I have bitachon and, I committed a couple of sins at Pam's house, right? I stole the towels like in a hotel. Sorry, Pam. But it didn't stop me from getting the revelation of Shem and his name is one. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? Is that if you have bitachon, you happen to do what you do, but the bottom line is you can be a pretty big tzaddik, but if I'm too busy arguing with Pam and insulting her and hating her and being jealous, I'm going to miss the revelation because I don't have the bitachon. That's it. And now is Eric Bryan's video of the day.
Welcome to today's Gula Minute, Daily Dvar Torah in the name of the Gaon of Vilna. When materialism runs wild.
You all know about that, right? We all live in this world today. Materialism running wild, right? It's just that's the world we live in.
It can even capture the B'nai Torah.
It can even capture Torah scholars. Meaning no one is exempt. The desire for material things overrun what we actually need. We didn't get there yet. Stay tuned. Robin, stay tuned.
God-fearing true believers. This is because, at first, materialism shows itself in many ways that speak to us in seductive ways as to entice us through our needs.
To entice us through our needs. You have to have a couch in your living room. So then the Yetzer says, don't stop there. You need me. Well, hold on. You're getting ahead of the game. Just stay where we are, right? You need a couch in your living room. You need silverware, okay? You need things. Very simply put, correct? Does everybody need things to live? Okay. So that's all we have done. We have not said anything more. You need things. That's all you need. Let's now find out, why is that dangerous that you need things?
To settle down in our existence and to establish a home in a proper work front.
How many of you need a home in a work front? A job and a home to keep your stuff in. As George Carlin says, you need a home to keep all your stuff. Okay, so you have now confirmed to me that you're not Martians. You're now human beings. Let's go.
Add all of this to the principle that Torah works best when in tandem with making a living.
Torah works best with making a living, says Ethics of the Fathers. Right? So I have to engage the world no matter how holy I am. I have to have stuff for my home.
In engaging this world.
I got to engage the world. No way about it, right? You got to go to the store to buy stuff.
From there, one can easily be led to choose after luxuries and say that these are all necessary to him.
You can be led to say these are all necessary.
He can even claim that gross materialism will help him study more comfortably as a way to bring spoils into his home.
For the next class next week, I'm afraid we're not going to have class because I'm sorry. I require a $20,000 microphone, courtesy of Bill. Bill's going to donate a $20,000 microphone. Bless his heart. Bill's a wonderful guy. And Jacques going to subsidize it. And Eric Bryan, bless his heart, is going to deliver it personally to Israel. He's going to bring it personally. I have to have it. I have to. What can I say? I cannot live under these conditions. You know how I suffer here. You know I suffer. I suffer.
After he realizes how it works.
Right? I got a microphone, a little dodgy guy from the store, and then I realized, how can I live without a $20,000 microphone? You all know I'm right and justify my claim now, don't you?
In inverted commas, he can further rationalize that this thinking is indeed good.
Of course it's good. I'm a world-acclaimed rabbi that needs $20,000 material.
Especially in ways to prepare for his old age and future health issues.
I can't be plugging in microphones, okay, and USB ports. I need like a studio. I need headquarters. Okay, I need in my old age one day when it comes, I need like I need a Mercedes to take me to my headquarters, don't I?
But the Torah nevertheless teaches us, yes, indeed, there are many thoughts in the heart of a man.
There are many thoughts in the heart of a man, right? Now, obviously, we're painting a big picture here, but even on the small scale, right? You go to the store, this is the way of the world. You justify it, right? How do you say it? Pam bought something she didn't need last week, and the government said, Pam, we owed you $300 from your tax, blah, blah, blah. Pam said, look at that. I got it's like I didn't even buy the thing that I bought last week because I got a refund, from the tax. So now I have a spare $300. I can just go buy something I really need. No, Pam, why don't you save the $300 that you blew last week? No, because this is what we do. It builds.
Thank you for listening. Be well. Welcome to...
All right, so that's the 3 classes. What changed, guys? Did anything change? What changed? Let's go. Any thoughts, comments, feedback? This is literally the entire Torah. This is the prophet Habakkuk. Perfect faith, trust, all these things. Do you see how it's the entire Torah? So that when you're holding at this place, you rely on God. You just go out, live your life, and you rely on God. And, tomorrow is not a problem. It's not an issue. You just rely on God. And all the Torah you do is to get you built up with courage and confidence so that you can trust and rely on God. That's it. That's why Torah is hard. It's only because it takes a long time to fill your basket. That's the only reason why it's hard. It's a fallacy to say, you're going to get it overnight. You get it by your 18th birthday. But the flip side is it's not impossible. That's the fight that I fought as a kid. Everyone was, the attitude was, there are special people in this world, and in David Katz, you're just not one of them. Right? Religion died a long time ago. Wisdom died a long time ago. And my mission was to show that it's not about special or not special. It's just about reality. God is reality, right? Torah is reality. And we have access to it. And it might take 6 months. That doesn't mean 6 billion years. Stop telling people it takes 6 billion years. It doesn't. It just, it's a little bit harder to get, but you get it. So you see how, look, my lessons are probably a case in point, It's not a cookie cutter lesson, but if you just break it down, give yourself 5 minutes, give yourself even an hour, half an hour. Once a day, just break it down and you'll get it, because these are not my words. These are not my ideas. They're not my concepts, okay? I put nothing into it other than I try not to ruin it. That's it. I give it to you in thinking format. I don't give it in McDonald's format. I don't give it in easily digestible, just kind of like, that was nice. That was a cute idea. That was nice. Just allow yourself to absorb it and to, put the pause button on and rewind Maybe it's meditational. I don't know. I know how I approach it. I just sit down and I go over the Hebrew. I get the dictionary and translate the words I don't know when they come up. And then I go in the commentary. I take notes. I urge you all to take notes. I think taking notes is essential. I do mean that word essential. And then when I go back and translate it, I build it in my head, not linguistically. I could care less about the English language. I don't care if I use words right or wrong. That's not my point, right? I want to put it together that preserves the Vilna Gaon's Hebrew. Remember, you're learning Hebrew in the English. I'm putting it over. Who's this? Hold on a second. I'm giving it to you in Hebrew. You have to know that also. I give no respect to your English, none. And you should also stop respecting English because Torah is in Hebrew. Right? So start to pay attention. One second, what happened here? That Torah is always given in Hebrew. And that's why there's no such thing as Noahide. Noahide is a ger. They don't want to admit that little fact, but it's the truth. And Noahide's an English word, right? The word is ger. So that's why you have to adjust your brain when you go through my lessons, because I'm not speaking English. It's not English. It's just not meant to be English. It's English vessels. Why do they call ger the convert? Convert is one type of ger. There's many, many types of ger. But the real Talmudic definition of convert is not ger. It's ger gamor, meaning he who has finished being a ger. Maybe they would understand that. No, yeah. So there's many, the words in Hebrew qualify what kind of ger it is. Right. It makes sense, but people don't teach that. Right. They say, no, it's ger, it's convert. No, actually it isn't. So that's the thing. Pay attention to the changes in the language, and that's why, Jacques, I give you a hard time about the English. Biblical Hebrew is not Hebrew, right? What they speak, Jacques, tell me if you understand what I'm telling you now. In Israel, the Hebrew spoken by Israelis is not the same as biblical Hebrew. Did you know that, or anybody else outside of Jacques? Did you guys know that? It's not even, there you go. So yeah, Jacques, it's a different world. It's a totally different language. Israeli Hebrew is not biblical Hebrew. And in fact, those that make the claim that Israelis learn Torah better for being in Israel, it's kind of a lie, kind of a fallacy, okay? Because the biblical Hebrew is not the language, and therefore if you think you speak Hebrew for being an Israeli, you will get most words wrong. Most words wrong. For example, I always give the example of the word nachon. Israelis say, no, atah lo nachon. Atah lo nachon. You're not right. Well, in modern Hebrew, lo nachon means wrong. You're not right. In biblical Hebrew, it means you're not quite right. Go a little deeper. Try again. It's an encouraging thing. In Israel, it's an insult. Atah lo nachon. That means like you're an idiot. Go away. All right. That's not what it means in biblical Hebrew. It means it's like you're saying good, but say it a little bit better. 100%. That's it. Here I'll tell you a kind of a funny joke. When I was dating the first time around, I was going to go on a date with a British girl. And we talked before the date about where we're going to go. And she said, what are you going to wear? It was like a casual date. And I said, oh, no worries. Don't worry. I'm just wearing pants. You realize what I told that woman? In England, if you tell a woman you're wearing pants, that means you're coming in your underwear. She says, what? I said, yeah, I'm wearing my pants. She says, oh, you mean trousers? Like, oh, yes. I'm sorry. Trousers. I know a guy who married a British woman, and he was trying to be romantic the night of their wedding. And he looks at her and he says, honey, I lucked out when I married you. She slapped him. She slapped him. He says, what'd I do? Because in America, obviously, lucked out is a good thing. In England, it means your luck ran out, and this is the best you're going to get. Big difference, isn't it? Big difference. And so Israelis really have a hard time, and they don't know it. They don't speak Torah at all. So the irony is the American kid from Dayton, Ohio, has an advantage over every Israeli. As long as I'm willing to get a dictionary. If I'm willing to get a dictionary, I have an advantage over the Israeli. It just boils down to these kind of things. So Torah English is not really English. It's one of the first things you got to realize. Which concurrency to use? I don't know. Let me see. Let's see. I don't know. It's a standard one in Israel, usually. I don't know. Avraham Evan Shushan. As the prophet says, this is the entire Torah, 1 foot. And you guys want to do more? Or do you want to call it there? It's up to you. I finished the point, though. What I wanted to explain is I've been trying to really understand what the prophet says, Tzadik b'emunah so yichya. Right? Because I say it's the entire Torah 1 foot. All right, Jacques, Laila Tov. We'll talk soon. Right? And it's a Gemara in Makos, in the Talmud. And obviously it's pretty enticing, isn't it? If Talmud's going to say the entire Torah is the righteous lives in his faith or truth, don't you want to know why that's the entire Torah? That's an enticing question. So I realized that the Vilna Gaon answers that question. I'll close on this point because it's the main point, and it's what I wanted to give over with Amnon when I was going to videotape. Tzadik be'emunah so yichya. Let me just think how I want to say this. 1 second. Yeah. So the bet before the word emunaso. Emunaso comes from the word emuna. The so at the end, with my Ashkenazi twang, makes it his. Emunaso. It should be just emunah. When you put emunah so, it makes it his emunah. And when I say be, as in be emunah so, it means in or with his emunah. So tzaddik, everyone repeat in your own houses. Ready? Tzaddik. Everyone say tzaddik. Type 1. Ready? Tzaddik. You got it? Be emunah so. Say it. Let's go. Be emunah so. Here's the big Jewish one. Yichya. Let's hear it. Let's give a big old yichya. Tzaddik be'emunah so yichya. You guys got it? Come on, Lars. You can do it. We're all doing it. Tzaddik be'emunah so yichya. Okay, good. What does it mean? Tzaddik, righteous, be'emunah so, in his, whatever you want it now. The word emunah can be translated many ways. Faith, perfect faith. Some can translate it as truth in the Aramaic translation, right? This is one of those words you don't have to translate. Stop translating emunah, okay? Stop translating it. And stop translating tzaddik. You with me? It's just tzaddik be'emunah so yichya. And you can say this, that tzaddik lives in his emunah. You translate yichya as lives. Why? It's just how the yeshivish way is. Because everyone knows what tzaddik is. Everyone knows what emunah is. No one knows what yichya is. So it becomes tzaddik b'emunah so yichya. Okay? So somehow the Talmud says that's the entire Torah. And everyone accepts that as a party line. And obviously, if you want to take it seriously, you want to investigate. Why is it the whole Torah? And so the Vilna Gaon tells you in these last three classes, and that is tzaddik be'emunah so yichya, that through his emunah that he lives with is he a tzaddik. Now you're saying right now, huh? What? Woo? Why? You know why? You know why you're saying that right now? You know why I got real foggy? Type 1 if your mind just went real foggy. Let's hear it. Because, no, this is where linguistics stop. You got this? There's no linguistic on this. No words will do the job here. This is where, you got to feel it and it goes to wisdom. Meaning it becomes, as Russell Kirk would say, the superconscious position. This is what we call being on the inside. Right? This is it's where you're one with the language, and translations stop. You're just in the moment. You're just in there. And it becomes multi-directional, multi-dimensional. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to approach this with many, many different directions at the same time. And you're going to say, well, what does that mean? Well, how many of you have ever driven a car? You guys hear about this thing, the automobile? It's an invention of four wheels. You guys heard about this thing? Yeah. How many things are you doing when you're driving? A lot of things. Some people do sleep when they drive. But you're doing a lot of things when you're driving, aren't you? You gotta know X amount of pedals on the floor. Whether it's an automatic or a gear shift, you gotta know what's going on over there. You have at least 2 or 3 what do you call it, odometer, whatever it's called, right, to pay attention to. You got to listen to the radio, play with the USB stick, text, talk on your phone, plug the phone in and hang it up when you see a cop so you don't get a ticket. Then you freak out, you got to put your seatbelt on while you're eating a Big Mac and drinking a Coke, while looking for your sunglasses and parallel parking. So there's a lot of things going on. And aren't you going to get really upset when someone says, hey, what are you doing? You know you can't explain that. It's not worth explaining, is it? It's just called driving. So on this level, it's not worth explaining it. It's just called learning. You understand now what I'm saying? Learning is driving. You don't need to explain it. You just do it. So therefore, I realized the Vilna Gaon answered the question. And because he focuses on bitachon, he's saying righteousness, the one who is righteous. Be'emunah so yichya. Tzaddik is bitachon, bitachon is tzaddik. Agreed? You do it by living with your emunah. Do I know in theory that God will take care of tomorrow if I'm halfway educated and righteous, half righteous. Then you got to go out and build up enough emunah, which means confidence, trust, truth, learning, right? I got to have enough going for me that I can put it exactly, that I can act on it. Tzaddik be'emunah so yichyeh. You are a tzaddik based on how much are you willing to live on your emunah. In other words, bitachon. What do you think about that? Isn't that great? That's the whole Torah on 1 foot. I finally got a good answer from the Vilna Gaon what it is. Tzaddik be'emunah so yichyeh. Put it to practice. That's the whole deal. And the Vilna Gaon says that's the essence of dveikus. Dveikus means absolutely clinging to God. Then, once you're clinging to God, what is there left to do? Mitzvot. There's nothing left to do. But it's not like there's nothing left to do. Now you see what to do. Everyone says, what do I do? I'm a gear now. What do I do? What do I do? I'm a gear now. What do I do? This is what you do. That's it. This is what you do. You say, oh, I have the emunah. Oh, I'm not worried about tomorrow because I'm a gear. Of course I have to trust in God. It's what I always do. Okay, good. So go do it. And just pay attention to the mitzvahs that you're doing as you're doing. Embrace the process. That's all. And pay attention to the truth that you witness in doing it. What else is there to do? That's what makes you happy. That is simcha. Demonstrating that you are a servant of God the right way. That's it. Take notes. There's plenty to take notes on. You'll be taking notes every day. Every day I take notes. There's plenty to write about. And then you just go out and make disciples. Go be Jethro. There's plenty of Jethro opportunities in this world. Plenty. Plenty, plenty. There's no shortage of Jethro moments. All right, gang. It was a good week. As we said in Mishlei class last night, the real message is put your heart in it and understand the hidden gems of creation. It's really what King David is all about. It's what Mashiach is all about. And this is how you do it. All right. So that's that. It's true. I'm going to stop recording. Salat Tov. This was Torah Shem on January 19 and 20. 20. I didn't turn it up past midnight yet. 20th of January. All right. Salat Tov. We'll see you guys next week. Remember that during the week that we're apart, if anybody has ideas for the Torah Shem class, verse, topic, this is what we do. I'm renaming the class. It's still the Torah Shem. But I realize the Torah Shem is about redeeming the truth. Maybe 1 or 2 on that. Torah Shem is about redeeming the truth. And that's what this week is that's what this class does. Every Wednesday night, we congregate to redeem the truth through the Torah of Shem principles. That's what we do. On Tuesday night, we talk the Torah of Solomon. Wednesday night, we redeem the truth. Thursday night, we sleep. We turn off our Skype and our phones, and we don't answer anybody. Oh, man, so it's all good. All right, have a good week. I'll see you guys when I see you, if not my next week. Again, start sending in suggestions for the Torah Shem class on Wednesday, because that's what this is about, redeeming the truth. And just a news bulletin, next Tuesday, we are doing the first 2 verses of Mishlei inside the commentary of the Vilna Gaon, because we finished last night the things that we had been doing, which is not true. I just realized Pam, you should have called me a liar. We did not do the English. I just now realized that. We did not do the English for Yavin and the last things. So forget your notes. Cross it out. Cross out your notes. Remind me. Yeah, good. Remind me Tuesday, because I will forget. We are to do the English encapsulation of the end of the second verse, and then we'll go back and do the Vilna Gaon. I totally forgot about the English last night. All right, Lado Tov. See you guys soon.